recorded.
יש לנו שבוע טוב. First of all, I would like to tell you that I was your messenger in Meiron 2 weeks ago in Onsfat, and it was we prayed for Rabbi Shimon for all of us, for all of you. Hashem should give us a wonderful life with a lot of good news, Bezrat Hashem.
Amen. Amen.
And make all the hardships simple. That's all. You know, to see the life in a better way. We started today the 4th Chumash of the Torah. Bereshit, Shmot, Vayikra, Bamidbar, that we started today, and the last one is the Chumash Devarim. There is a question if this Chumash is lekatchila or diavad, and I will explain. It says that our Chumash of the Bamidbar start with the statement of the time that it happens. You remember what we learned today? Vayidaber Hashem el Moshe. Where he spoke to Moshe? במדבר סיני. When? בשנה השנית, באחד לחודש השני, בשנה השנית לצאתה מארץ מצרים. Meaning, we left Egypt on Nisan. The second year, Nisan, the second month, bring us to Iyar. ראש חודש Iyar, 3,321 years old. Years ago. What happened until this point? Those of you who learn history. We came out of Egypt. In 3 months we came to Har Sinai. Now we are there in this time of the year, Chodesh Sivan. We received the Torah. נכון? Moshe Rabbeinu went to heaven. We were bored, so we made a golden calf. Moshe Rabbeinu came back, destroyed it. Hashem told him on Rosh Chodesh Elul, I forgive Am Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu going back to the Mount of Sinai and comes on Yom Kippur with the Torah, the second Luchot. Everything in the first year, from Nisan to Nisan. Then what he's telling them, let's build a Mishkan. They built the Mishkan. When they assembled the Mishkan, it was ready on Chanukah, but they waited to Nisan, Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Kav Gimel Be'adar they started, and Rosh Chodesh Nisan the Mishkan start to work. And over here, we are about 1 month after the Mishkan is working. נכון? What is the next step?
Go to Israel.
No, first of all, you have to organize the people. You're counting them. You're making the groups. You're making the order. How is the order? The temple is in the middle. The Shvatim 12, 3, 3, 3, 3, like a big square. Everybody has number. Everybody has a leader. They're getting flags. They are going to learn how to use the horns, the trumpets to call the people. And, as we say in Free Russian, Payechali. Where to? Eretz Israel. It says in Parashat Baalotcha that they left Har Sinai, דרך 3 ימים, a way of 3 days They went in one day, on one day. And Aaron Brit Hashem is 3 days in front of them, going forward. If you're making the accounting,
11 days.
the Aaron Abrit is next to the border of Israel. So what we have now, everything is ready. The Mishkan is ready, people are ready, the trumpets are ready, the cloud, the Aaron Brit Hashem is waiting next to Eretz Israel. We have just to say hello and cross the border and come to Yerushalayim, build Beit HaMikdash. Moshe Rabbeinu is inside, Aaron HaKohen is inside, and it's on the 2nd year after we left Egypt. What happened then? We told to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in a very nice way, we are not ready. We don't want. We find excuses, of course. We want to be more spiritual, we need this, this is already excuses. But we say we are not ready, we don't want to go. What happened then? We are stuck in a desert for the next 40 years. This book of Bamidbar talks about these 40 years. Well, 39 years if you're going to make it. The last Chumash of Dvarim, where it happens, do you know? Is a very time-wise, is a very short. It says, Ela Dvarim asher diber Moshe, in the 40th year, ב-12 לחודש, which is mean חודש שבט, ב-1 לחודש. The last Chumash of Sefer Dvarim, we're talking about 1 month and 7 days, because Moshe Rabbeinu started to speak on Rosh Chodesh Shvat, and he died when? The 7th of Adar. 37 days, there was all this. But Chumash Bamidbar talks about 39 years that look to us, from the first look, as extra. You understand my question? Because the plan was different. What was the plan?
To go to Israel.
Go to Israel. What did we say? We don't go to Israel. What happened now? 39 years of going here and there, and then the Meraglim and Kivrot HaTa'ava and this problem and Korach and just name it. But from the other side, when we are going to the end of Sefer Bamidbar, there is a whole list of all the places that we were in the desert for these 39 years. How many places, you remember?
42.
42 places. And all the rabbis say that we had to go over there and we had to fix the neshamot over there and we have to make the tikkunim over there and the gilgulim over there, and they say so many. He said it was a must to go over there. So wait a minute. Is it a must or is it a waste?
There's no contradiction. They
What?
could have gone in 2 days, all the places, 42 places, and go to Israel.
No. After
Why would have to spend 39 years? In one place,
no,
we stayed more.
this is my question. Not a good answer. No, don't mix up question. Good question with good answer. If you are going to see all the Mekubalim and all the Mefarshim talk about these places, you have to be over there, and then you go over there, Atzmona, Etzion Gaver, Yotvata, Vechorag, Gad, Ve'avar. It's good, we went over there. But when we read the parasha, it looks like it's a waste of time, Go, why you make so many steps, for what? So, today we are going to learn about halakha, and we're going to come to this question afterwards. In Masechet Barachot, there is a whole chapter that talks about all kind of ברכות הנהנין, ברכות המצוות, who made the ברכות, all the blessing that we are doing. And then there is a question, if somebody wants to go from his house to a trip, he wants to sell diamonds, he wants to go with his wife to Florida, he wants to go to Israel, what he has to say when he goes? תפילת הדרך. What is תפילת הדרך? Praying to Hashem to what? To be saved, נכון? It makes sense to me, נכון? So I was hoping when I opened to read, if somebody goes to the way, he has to say bracha, and this is the bracha like everything. In Birkat HaDerech, it's a whole total different thing. Listen how it starts. אמר לאליהו הנביא לרבי יהודה. אליהו הנביא. No Tana, no Emora. We start from the top, אליהו הנביא. What אליהו הנביא say to Rabbi Yehuda, the brother of Rav Salah HaChassid? לא תרתח ולא תחטא. ג'ל נגירת בגונון מדרוי. Don't get angry and don't make a sin. Very nice. Second, לא תרווה ולא תחטא. Don't get drunk and don't make a sin. בסדר? So what is teaching him? אליהו הנביא giving him מוסר. Number one, never get upset. Number two, never get drunk. טוב. Number three, when you go out of the city, הימלך בקונך. Ask permission from God. אומרת הגמרא, מה זה הימלך בקונך? מה זה ask permission? אמר יעקב, זאת תפילת הדרך. This is the תפילה of the דרך. I have a question to you. What is the connection? Don't get drunk, don't get upset, ask permission. Somebody asks you over here, there is how to say Tfilat Shmona, so you say Baruch Ata Hashem. How to say? Why you come to Tfilat HaDerech through hold Eliyahu? Why Eliyahu Navi is doing over here? What is doing over here? Aaron, you have good answers. What's the question? What's the connection? Don't get upset, don't get drunk, on the way, ask permission. What's permission Tfilat HaDerech? Why have to go all this path? For what? No? נסיעת, בסדר, but what is the connection of תפילת הדרך? I'm asking a question. אומרת הגמרא, אוקיי, so תפילת הדרך, מה זה תפילת הדרך? יהי רצון לפניך, שתוליכני לשלום, תצעדני לשלום, keep me, save me. This and but why is
maybe because you're going to retreat, just be with Hashem also, like don't get drunk and
so inside the house is okay, outside it is okay. No, don't take shortcuts. It's too dangerous shortcuts. There is I give you a few understandings, few explanation, and number one. Sometimes when God gives us everything easy, we have a certain human component, certain feeling that we don't appreciate it. Tak должно быть. And we understand this is the right way, this is the only way. We have to go to a certain path, to a certain derech, to start to appreciate things. We can see that the problem of the Am Yisrael in the desert everything was so good, and everything was so clean, and everything was so organized, that they took it like a must. And it's a big mistake in life. After 40 years, when the grandchildren came to Israel, they were ready already. Sometimes, because God is so kind to us, we don't appreciate it. Human nature, unfortunately. The fact sometimes we was as parents we want to spoil our children because we feel we want them to be the happiest children in the world. Most of the spoiled children are the most dangerous one. Kids that grew up when they had to sweat, when they had to work very hard, you see good children coming out from them. Why? What's the problem? The one who gained it know to appreciate more. And we don't know about the thing, but now my mother-in-law, when my kids go to Israel and she sit and she explained them that you go to the refrigerator, you take a bottle of milk and you drink it. For me, to drink a milk as a child was to go to the barn and to take the cow and to make the whole milking process. But on the long term, it seems to us that our kids enjoy more and learn more. But on the long term, she was more prepared to life than my children, because the hardship made them appreciate it. I told you a few times, when I was a child and before Pesach, my parents want to buy new shoes for me. You go to the store and there are 3 kinds of shoes over there and I have to choose. You choose one and you feel happy. Today you go to the store, there are 500, they say you cannot find nothing. So you can tell me, if 3 you can choose one, 500, it seems like easier to choose, but it's the opposite. As more options you have, as more difficult it becomes. So the first thing when we say, we don't say that the book of Bamidbar was just a b'diavad thing. No. When somebody is not ready, it's become his real life. He has to grow up and he has to gain it. And I remember a few years ago, there was a young couple that I used to help them. They had problems in the beginning. And a certain time, Lo Aleinu, the husband got sick. It's a very, very, very tough sickness, Lo Aleinu. And I went to the hospital so we spoke, then I told to the wife, no, what did you learn from this? She said, Rabbi, I was so not smart to argue with him because the arguments were on nothing. Now I have a problem. Now I wish he come home and argue with me. It would be the sweetest voice in the world. But she had to go through this, Baruch Hashem, then he became okay, Baruch Hashem, and they live very good now. But when everything was so easy and so accessible and so good, it wasn't a source of happiness, it was a source of aggravation. Just this hardship made her and him to understand what is important and what is not important in life. So of course, if we can call it's something extra, but this is the only way that both of them really found way to each other. So it's not a diavad, something that happened. It's because we were not ready, we had to go to this. And this is the first understanding. The word derech, tfilat derech, in Hebrew, how do you translate it?
Connection from one.
No, what is derech? Way, nachon? In Hebrew, derech is not way.
Road.
Huh?
Road.
Drive, road, and you can do another. No. The word in Hebrew, the word derech, is approach. It's not connecting two places. Derech, it's a place when you are growing up to become a different person. So it's not destination. Derech is mean by the end of the road, you should be a different person. And therefore in Hebrew the word derech comes from darach. You have to step. There is by stepping all the time, it's become a derech. And hardship in life, as I told you, make people stronger. And but there is other way that I would like to explain with the word derech. And we spoke something in the morning, but I'm going to make it. If derech is in a way, the word way is to connect between two places. We're using the word derech, the ability to a person to change from one place to another. And I will touch it. The biggest enemy of a Jew in this world, you know what is it? His habits. He's used to one thing. Don't touch him. Don't change him. He doesn't want to hear about changes. His way of life can be a very miserable way. But what he's telling you? I like to be what I am. I don't want changes. Habits or stepping on one place all the time doesn't let a person to explore. And I'll give you two examples. One that I spoke to my father-in-law. He left almost 40 years ago Russia. When we left Russia, his neighbors were laughing at him. Why you are going? What there is in Israel? Tam Sida Vaina. There was a war all the time. Then 20 years ago, when they ran away and they came to Israel, they told him how not smart we were when we were laughing at you. Now it's about time you to laugh at us, because we were wrong. Why? What happened? They live in a certain place. They go to work, they come home. It's enough for them. But if somebody wants to change, he wants to go to a place they can worship more religion, it can be more religious freedom, you're looking for other thing. It looks for them like, what he's doing? He's crazy. But on the long term, he was right, because he was not afraid of this change. And it applies to everything in our life. We cannot take our habits and stick to them, because this is what we are used to do in the last 10, 20, 40, 50 years. When the big immigration started from Russia, there was a young person. He was 70 years then. He was 65. He came to America, and he used to come every Shabbat to our synagogue. At the age of 70, he came to me one day and he said, Rabbi, today I'm 70 years old. I want to say after you a Dvar Torah. And he was a very big communist over there. I told him, you know what? Why not? 70 years. It happens once a year, once in life, once in a lifetime. And as soon as when he say, my name is Avner. He said, and I am a communist. From the age of 20 until the age of 65, 45 years, I was a communist. I came to America because I had no choice, because in Dushanbe we were like real refugees. And I'm here in the last 5 years. And I can tell you one thing. I lived 65 years and I was wrong. It took me 5 years, they say, to thinking I'm going to say it loudly over here. I became 70 years old. Whatever God is going to grant me life, God knows. And I know that I was wrong. But you say you cannot imagine when you have habits so many years how it's difficult to break an habit knowing that you are wrong. And it's not something, you can say, Rabbi, somebody is addicted, he want to quit drinking and he cannot because the body is that. It's an ideology. For 45 years I learned one thing, I understand I'm wrong, but it's very difficult for me to break it. Why? Because I have my habits. The word derech in Hebrew, one of the explanation is to be able, when you are going on the way, to change your habits, to be ready for the next, for the destination, not just coming by a car, going here and there. I told you many times, to go from Egypt is very easy. To take Egypt from your heart is very difficult. Same thing by us. The first, in the Gemara, there are many stories. The first story in the Talmud, you remember what is this? You remember? I will tell you. Amar Rabbi Yosei, the Tana. Once I was walking baderech, same derech, and it was time of mincha, and it was next to Yerushalayim, and I went inside of a broken house, falling apart house, to pray mincha. By Eliyahu Hanavi came and watched the entrance, that nobody should bother me. When I finished my prayer and I came out, he told me, Shalom Alecha, Rabbi. And I told him, Shalom Alecha, my rabbi and my master. And he told me, my son, why you prayed inside this falling apart house? I told him I wanted to pray and I wanted to have a bit of concentration. Amar li, you had to pray outside. When? Where to pray? Baderech. Amarti lo, I told him, I am afraid because people are coming and going. I didn't want to be disturbed. He said, no, it's better to pray outside. What is the
Sakana.
Huh?
Sakana.
What?
To pray in a broken house.
But why emphasize to pray outside, sure, but not inside?
Changes.
Because when you're going and you're looking for these temporary reliefs, you might stick over there. In Baderech, you're on the thing of changing. This is all life is all about. The ability to change, to take changes, and not be afraid of them. This paralyzing fear. I told you in Sudash Lishit, I was flying to Israel and there was a booklet over there about fears of flights. Interesting. And it says over there, they start in a very nice way. When the crew, they are closing the door of the airplane, 16% of the people inside the airplane start to feel not comfortable. And few of them are going to start to develop all kind of panics, attacks. Few of them are going to sweat. Why? Because now they closed it, now it's going to fly, it's going to broken, it's going to go inside the sea, I'm going to stay this, and all this wonderful wild thoughts and imagination, and the person next to you is not like nothing happened. But the person who is going through this, for him is the end of the world. He is panicking now. Why? Because something is attacking him. So I told to myself, this is what we call baderech, to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with you on the path too. It's not just, Hashem is not with us in New York or in Israel, He's on the way too, He's with us. There is and this understanding is very important, all the concept of life. And how many times, because of our habits, we didn't progress, we didn't move forward. It's not a secret that one of the I was in Israel, so therefore I'm a bit updated about Israel. Israel now, thank God, with all this world financial crisis, Israel doing, thank God, B'layin hara, very well. They are progressing over there, and it's nice. It's a source of pride to all of us. And one of the tools that the Israeli have, they don't have this fear. They're taking challenges. Somebody once told me that he told me that two Israelis came to work in his restaurant to wash dishes. The next day they come to tell him how much money you want to be a partner with you in the restaurant. So he told him, this guy over here is working for 16 years. He never asked me, I just gave him now the keys to my private office after 15 years to use the telephone. But you want to be, after one day of washing, you want to be a partner. So it's, you can call it a Jewish chutzpah, but you can call it in the good thing, you can call it people that are adjusting. If we are here washing dishes, why cannot be a partner? This kind of way of thinking can give you a lot of boost to go forward in life. To dare more, to try, and not to give up, and not to give in. To give up in life, it's the easiest thing. This is what we call derech. So, if you're looking at the fourth book of the Torah, of Parashat Bamidbar, what Moshe Rabbeinu is telling them, everything was ready, but there was one problem. You didn't want. Okay, nothing happened. Now I'll take you to make you ready for the next step. Whenever you're ready, I am ready. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu is telling them. It's what Hashem is telling them. So, most of our problem in life is when we don't want to accept changes. I had a young couple came to me. They got married, I think, 2 months ago. They have problems. What is their problem? Very simple. She thinks that she is Bachi Mamesh, and he thinks that he is Bachi Onesh. They are still two young children. They don't understand they're husband and wife now. He wants, whatever she wants, he has to give. Whatever she wants, she has to give. And I told him, this is good in your house with your parents. But now you are husband and wife. Now with a power struggle. Now it's a different thing. You have to listen, you have to obey. No. Now you are married. You are not two singles. You are husband and wife. And I told him, let me give you the good news. When you're going to be a father and a mother, hopefully soon, it's going to be a different thing, because this small dictator will decide when to wake up, when to go to sleep, when to talk, when to call, when to take a shower, when he's making decisions, not you anymore. You're very tired, tomorrow you have a test, 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, you say, hey, I am bored, you have to amuse me now, I feel very... It's 2 o'clock in the morning, he doesn't understand. You say, okay, you became a father, you became a mother. So it's nice, Baruch Hashem, father and mother, and then you grow up after 20 years, okay, the kids grow up, you say Baruch Hashem, now there is the grandchildren are coming, it's another adjustment, Baruch Hashem. And it's a whole thing. So I told to this young couple, I told them, hey, you are not children anymore. You can just demand. You are husband and wife. You have to start to give and take. It doesn't go one direction. So the ability to adjust to the new reality makes our life easier.
Two questions. One, why do we call this Sefer Bamidbar? Second, does a person has to use his ability to think to predict what the outcome is, or we should just take the challenges, or?
No, you predict the challenges, but it comes by itself. You don't have to worry.
That's it, but they have to.
It's called Bamidbar because Bamidbar is Pervot Pustina,
Right.
Meaning that we created this Pustina. This is the meaning. This is the deeper meaning. We created this desert because everything was ready. Our Midbar Paran is here. The cloud is here. Aron Kodesh is here. Eretz Israel is here. Go inside, start to live. Say I don't want. Okay, don't want. Go back to square one, square A.
But how about their prediction? Let's say going there, we know that there was nothing there. It was like isolated. Everything the people who lived in Israel, they broke. There was like a land, empty land.
No, it was.
The rabbi.
Why the spies when they gave when they brought the fruits and the vegetables?
After 40 years, no?
No.
They had to conquer them.
The spies has to go,
Right.
and they saw it, and they say we don't want to go. Then the 40 years started.
But the reason I heard the reason they had to go to 40 years because they heard the Jews coming. They didn't want to have anything. They cannot fight with them because Hashem is with them. So they destroyed all the.
No, it was nothing to do with the goyim. It's we ourselves, the complex of monkey Buddha, I mean. There is a few weeks ago. We remembered over here. We memorized the Holocaust here in Israel, and they said something the same. On 1933, the world has been changed when the Nazi took over in Germany, and they start all kind of restriction against Jews, and they start to build such a military power. So the invasion to Europe was inevitable. Those who took the challenge and left, they survived. 90% of those who say, okay, we don't want to take a challenge. We used to be like this, nothing will happen. They didn't survive. Why? Because what makes people strong in life is not the stability in life. What makes them strong in life is the ability to change. There are all kind of stories about the dinosaurs and about and there is a big story that the scientists ask why the dinosaurs died, passed away, why they finished, how they explained it. So they say when the world becomes too small and they demand too much food, they could not adjust to a smaller world. So whoever was smaller, he was able to adjust because they needed less. So sometimes you can be very big, but when it's clumsy and it doesn't have the ability to adjust, it's very vulnerable, much more than a small one that it can go here and there. It's another idea of the word derech. What is the bottom line? The fourth Chumash that we are starting today, B'ezrat Hashem, and it's going to be, it's a very long Chumash, talks about 39 years of Am Israel going slowly, and gaining qualities and what they need to be able to move from the desert to the promised land. It wasn't a source of anger. Moshe Rabbeinu next Chumash talks about a frustration of maybe waste, maybe losing opportunity. But I believe that it wasn't opportunity missing. It was just teaching them, give them the tools to adjust to a new situation. And when they are ready, you can go in. Let's pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we will be zocheh to be able to change, to be able not to be afraid of something new that's coming, and to grow up and don't lose opportunities.